Hi, today I have a special guest. Well, it's not just a special guest, it's a special mystery guest. Well, I guess it's not such a mystery that there will be a special guest because I already told you there's a special guest. But the mystery is who is the special guest, which will be clear after half the video because, you know. But we have a lot of things to talk about, so let's get in our topic. So here we have a game. There are only 2 rules in the game. Rule number 1. Each turn you can only move the topmost disc from one of the pegs, like this. Well, now you can either move the top disc of the first peg, which is disc number 2, or the top disc of the second peg, which is peg number 1. Well, but in the rules, you cannot move this disc number 2 only has one legal move. It can only move here if you want to move it, because it cannot move here because of the second rule. You can never place, well, a disc with a higher number on top of a disc with a lower number. Well, it becomes very clear that you can place 2 discs of the same number on top of each other when, well, there's a game called Bicolor Tower of Hanoi where there's 2 sets of pegs. One set is white, the other set is black, and they're arranged in opposite colors, and the bottommost peg are different than in the final configuration, and you want to get them to be the same color. Well, and the goal I'm going to cheat, but this type of cheating is not allowed in the game because you have to move it to the top part. You have to move it to the topmost part of the tower, not the bottom. This is the goal, to get them all on the another peg. Doesn't matter which one. The second peg or the third one are both, well, but level 3 is too easy. Well, 3 is too easy. If you think level 3 is too easy, then level 6?
Hi, I'm the special guest. You want me to play this?
Yeah.
Whoa, this seems challenging. Let me try. Whoop. Whoop. Up.
So, if you want to move it to the second peg, which is, I think, what he's trying to do, then there's one solution, fastest solution. third peg, one solution, fastest solution. But the solution takes a lot of moves, and it's very hard not to mess up. P.S. Today I did it, and I didn't mess up once, but I messed up when I was trying to do it with 8 discs.
Let me continue. I haven't messed up, right?
And general strategy, well, never put 2 pegs with the same parity on top of each other.
Yeah.
Disc number 6 never have to move again since it has already moved from his starting position to one of his new positions. Now, tiny little disc number 1 moves to the right spot. Then number 2. Why does number 1 always stack on top of number 2 after number 2 moves? I don't know. Yeah. Whichever disc just moved. If it's not disc number 1, then disc number 1 will move next, and it'll stack directly on top of the previous disc moved. Well, if it is a 2 or 4 or 6. Remember, same parity never, touches. I don't know why it always happens if it's a 2 or a 4. But sometimes it always happens, actually.
Yeah, no.
So, well, here's the optimal solution. Now playing. Wait, why does it always have to? Never mind. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1. Yeah, why does teeny little disc 1 always stack on top of any even number discs that just moved? Notice how discs 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all stacking up so disc number 5 can move. But why move disc number 5? I thought we should move disc number 6 But disk number 6. Aha! But disk number 6 never moves until all the other 5 are stacked in a pile. And for that to happen, we first must move disk number 5. Like this. Now that all 5 are lying neatly in a pile, we can move disk number 6 right over that pile. Now, same thing happens again. Well, almost same thing, I guess. Know how an odd number never touches with an odd number and an even number never touches with an even number? Well, this would be true if it was for a real, never mind, if these were actually touching. Well, because now they aren't. But if these were touching, then it wouldn't be true. Well, now we have to move discs 1, 2, and 3, 4 all into a pile again. Well, why is it so, oh, I see. Because then we can move them away from disc number 5, free to stack on top of disc number 6, and then continue. Our next mission is to get disc number 4 into place, which is taking a lot of work, but yeah. So now we have to uncover disc number 3 to move it to its position. Then uncover disc number 2, move it, but since nothing can ever go on top of disc number 1, which is uncovered, because it has to be unless someone is breaking the rules, and I never broke the rules. Disc number 1 straight on top. Maybe that was just easy version. Well, or maybe that was medium hard version. Whatever that was, this is hard version 7. Can you do it? I doubt. Well, you doubt? I doubt. But this is a long animation that I just watched. Well, since I said it was a long one, I set the speed factor to 50. Get solution. Well, there's only one. But you anyways have to get solution. Or else we'll just play solution for 7 discs, 9 packs. No. 9 packs, 7 discs. Hey. Did I just get solution again? Anyway, I'll show it. This is how he moved everything to the second pile and then move the second bit of this disc to the first pile and transferred everything to the third pile. As you'll find out later, after he transferred everything except the biggest 3 discs to the first pile, he then transfers them all to the third pile after transferring the third largest disc, and then move big disc. Then transfers everything onto the first pile so that he can get second largest onto pile number 2. But first needs to transfer everything onto the second pile so he can get the third largest onto the first pile and then transfer them all. Now this is just a recursion. And it is pretty long. Eventually you'll get to move that third biggest disc onto the finished square. It's just a matter of time before the fourth arrives, and then the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. Which, by the way, is the smallest one. Play. P.S. It's impossible to receive a reward. P.P.S. Very big proof. Don't you know what it means? Never mind. Wait. Why does it have so much iterative? Oh, that gives me a clue. To move this, you must first do these. And for the first one, you have to do these. This one, you have to do these. Then 3 steps. I don't know why, but nobody read this. This article is about the mathematical disc game. For the card game, see Tower of Hanoi, which is, well, sounds the same but it's spelled. For the Vietnamese skyscraper, see Canam Hanoi Landmark Tower. What?
The Tower of Hanoi, also called the Problem Banner Temple or Tower of Brahma or Lucas Tower.
Why does it have so many names?
Sometimes just towers or simply pyramid puzzle. It's a mathematical game or puzzle consisting of 3 rods and a number discs of various diameters, which can slide into any rod. The puzzle begins with the discs stacked on one rod in order of decreasing size. The smallest at the top, thus approximately a conical shape. The objective of the puzzle is to move the entire stack to the last rod, obeying the following rules. Rule number 1, only one disc may be moved at a time. Number 2, each move consists of taking the upper disc from one stack and placing on top another stack or on empty rod. Note this, 3, no disc may be placed on top of disc that's smaller than it. With the 3 discs, the puzzle can be solved in 7 moves. The minimum number of moves required to solve a Tower of Hanoi with 3 discs puzzle is 2 power n minus 1, where n is the number of discs.
This puzzle was introduced to the West by French mathematician Eduard Lucas in 1883. Numerous myths regarding the ancient and mystical nature of the puzzle popped up almost immediately, including one about an Indian temple in Kashi Vishwanath containing a large room with 3 worn posts in it. Wait, what is, oh yeah, surrounded by 64 golden discs. I thought they were supposed to be on top of them. Acting at the command of an ancient prophecy, Brahmin priests have been moving these discs in accordance with the immutable rules of Brahma since that time. The puzzle is therefore also known as the Tower of Brahma. According to the legend, when the last move of the puzzle is completed, the world will end. Oh, so I see why it's time related. Papa, can you
If the legend were true, and if the priests were able to move this at a rate of 1 per second using the smallest number of moves, it would take the 2 to the power 64 minus 1 second, or roughly 585 billion years to finish, which is about 42 times the current age of the universe.
There are many variations on this legend. For instance, in some tellings, the temple is a monastery and the priests are monks. The temple or monastery may be in various locales, including Hanoi, and may be associated with any religion. In some versions, other elements are introduced, such as the fact that the tower was created at the beginning of the world, or that the priests or monks may only make 1 move per day.
Solution. The puzzle can be played with any number of discs, although many toy versions have around 7 to 9 of them. The minimum number of moves required to resolve a Tower of Hanoi puzzle is 2 to n power minus 1, where n is the number of discs. This is precisely the nth Mercian number without primality requirements.
That means that it doesn't have to be prime. Well, maybe they should include, lots of them so that you can remove some discs and still play with less discs, or else you could use them all. Yeah, but it costs more to make more. So, iterative solution. A simple solution for the toy puzzle is to alternate moves between the smallest and non-smallest piece. When moving the smallest piece, always move it to the next position in the same direction. To the right if the starting number of pieces is even, to the left if the starting number of pieces is odd. If there is no tower position in the chosen direction, move the piece to the opposite end, but then continue to move in the correct direction. For example, if you started with 3 pieces, you would move the smallest piece to the opposite and then continue in the left direction after that. When the turn is to move the non-smallest piece, there's only one legal move. Doing so will complete the puzzle in the fewest moves. Assuming no one cheated. Well, actually that wouldn't technically be a solution because you have to follow the rules. Never mind.
For each even number disc, make a legal move between pegs A and B in either direction. Makes a legal move between pegs A and C. Makes a legal move between pegs B and C. Repeat until complete. For other number discs, makes a legal move between pegs A and C. Then makes a legal move between pegs A and B. Makes a legal move between pegs A and C. Repeat until complete. In each case, a total of 2 to n minus 1 moves are made.
Another way to generate the unique optimal iterative solution. Number the discs 1 through n, largest to smallest. If n is odd, the first move is from peg A to peg C. If n is even, the first move is from peg A to peg B. Now add these constraints. No odd discs may be placed directly on a odd disc. No even discs may be placed directly on an even disc. There will sometimes be 2 possible pegs. One will have discs and the other will be empty. Place a disc on the non-empty peg. Never move a disc twice in succession. Considering the constraints after the first move, there is only one legal move at every subsequent turn. The sequence of these unique moves is the optimal solution to the problem, equivalent to the iterative solution described above.
The key to solving a problem recursively is to recognize that it can be broken down into a collection of smaller sub-problems, to each of which the same general solving procedure that we are seeking applies, and the total solution is then found in some simple way from those sub-problems solutions. Each of these created sub-problems being smaller, guaranteeing that the base cases will eventually be reached. Thence, for the Tower of Hanoi, label pegs A, B, C, let n be the total number of disks, from 1, smallest, topmost, to n, largest, bottommost.
Assuming all n discs are distributed in valid arrangement among the pegs, assuming there are n top discs on the source peg, all the rest of the discs are larger than m, so they can be safely ignored. To move m from a source peg to a target peg using a spare peg without violating the rules. Move n-1 disk from the source to the spare peg by the same general solving producer. Rules are not violated by assumption. This leaves disk M as the top disk on the source peg. Number 2. Move the disk M from the source to the target peg, which is guaranteed to be value moved by assumptions, a single step. Number 3. Move the M1 disk that we have placed upon from the spare to the target peg by the same general solving producer. That they are placed on top of the disk M without violating the rules. Just a note, because all of the disks that we're moving are smaller than the other disks, which will be on the bottom of our 3 pegs. But we don't care because the disks we're moving are smaller than them, all of them. 4. The base case is to move 0 disks in steps 1 and 3. That is, do nothing, which obviously doesn't violate the rules. Well, wait. Yeah, if you do nothing, then you don't violate the rules because there isn't a rule saying that you have to do something. Well, actually, you do, but just pretend, you don't even have to do a step.
The full Tower of Hanoi solution then consists of moving n disk from the source peg A to the target peg C, using B as a spare peg.
This approach can be given a rigorous mathematical proof as mathematical induction and is often used as an example of recursion when teaching programming.
As in many mathematical puzzles, finding a solution is made easier by solving a slightly more general problem: how to move a tower of H disk from a starting peg F equals A on a destination peg T to C to being the remaining third peg and assume T not equal to F. First, observe that problem is symmetric for permutations of the names of the pegs. If a solution is known moving from peg A to peg C, then by renaming the pegs, the same solution can be used for every other choice of starting and destination peg. If there's only one disk, or even none at all, the problem is trivial. If H equal to 1, then simply move the disk from peg A to peg C. If H larger than 1, then somewhere along the sequence of move, the largest disk must be moved from peg A to another peg, preferably to a peg C. The only situation that allows this move is when all smaller H-1 disks on peg B. Hence, first all H-1 small disks must go from A to B, then move the largest disk, and finally move the H-1 small disk from peg B to peg C. The presence of the largest disk does not impede any move of the H-1 small disk and can be temporarily ignored. Now the problem is reduced to move H-1 disk from one peg to another one, first from A to B, then subsequently from B to C. But the same method can be used both times by renaming the pegs. The same strategy can be used to reduce H-1 problem to H-2, H-3, and so on until only one disk is left. This is called recursion. This algorithm can be schematized as follows.
Identify the disks in order of increasing size by the natural number from 0 up, but not including H, since disk 0 is the smallest one, and disk H-1 is the largest one. Following as a producer, move the tower of H disks from peg A onto peg C, which B being the remaining third peg. If H is greater than 1, then first use the producer to move the H-1 smaller disk from peg A to peg B. Now the largest disk, i.e. disk H, can be moved from peg A to peg C. If H is greater than 1, then again uses producer to move the H minus 1 smaller disk from peg A to peg C by means of mathematical induction. It's easily proven that the above producer requires the minimum number of moves possible and that the produced solution is the only one with the minimal number of moves. Before current relation, the exact number of moves the solution is calculated by 2 to the h power minus 1. This result is obtained by noting steps 1 and 3 take t to t h minus 1 move, then step 2 takes 1 more, giving t h equals 2 t h minus 1 plus 1.
The following Python code demonstrates the recursive solution. I don't have to read the code.
A equals 3, 2, 1. B equals blank. C equals blank. Define move n source target auxiliary. N is greater than 0. Move n minus 1 disks from source to auxiliary. They're out of the way. Move n minus 1 source auxiliary target. You can tell that they actually swapped it. Move the nth disk from source to target dot append source dot pop. Display our progress. Print A, B, C. Hash 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 comma. Step equals escape n. Move the n minus 1 that we left on auxiliary onto target. Move n minus 1 auxiliary target source. Initiate call from source A to target C with auxiliary B. Move 3 ACB. Non-recursive solution. Let's move for the tower being carried from one peg to another one as produced by the recursive algorithm has many regularities. 1. Counting the moves starting from 1, the ordinal of the disk to be moved during move m is the number of times m can be divided by 2. Hence, every odd move involves the smallest disk. It can also be observed that the smallest disk traverses the pegs FTR, FDR, ETC dot for the top of the tower and traverses the pegs FRT, FRT, etc. or even height of the tower. This provides the following algorithm, which is easier carried out by hand than the recursive algorithm. Alternate moves. Move the smallest disk from the peg has not recently come. Another disk here. There will only be one possibility. For the very first move, the smallest disk go to take T of H. H is odd and will take R of H is even. Also observe that disks whose ordinals have even parity moves in the same sense as smallest disk. Discs whose ordinals have odd parity move in opposite spins. As each season's remaining third peg during successive moves is TRF, etc. If H is odd, the remaining third peg during successive moves is RTF, etc. When with this knowledge, a set disc in the middle of optimal solution can be recovered with no more information than positions of each disc. Call the moves details above a disc's factor move. Examine the small top disc that is not disc 0 and note what is only one move could be. Note that disc 0 either at the first or last move. If this natural move has not been moved, then the last disc 0 move and that move should be taken. If that move is not the disc's natural move, remove disc 0.
Disc position may be determined more directly from the binary representation of the move number, the initial state being moving number 0 with ordinary 0 and the final state being with ordinary 1 using following rules. There's only one binary digit for each disk. The most significant bit represents the largest disk. A value of 0 indicates that the largest disk is on initial peg, with a 1 indicates that it is on the final peg. Right peg if number disk is odd, and the middle tag otherwise. The bit string is read from left to the right, and each bit can be used to determine the location of the corresponding disk. A bit with the same value as the previous one means that the corresponding disk is stacked on top of the previous disk on the same peg. That's to say, a straight sequence of zeros or ones means that the corresponding disks are all on the same peg. A bit with a different value to the previous one means that the corresponding disk is one position to the left or right of the previous one. Whether it is left or right is determined by this rule. Assuming that the initial peg is on the left, also assuming wrapping, so the right leg counts as one peg left of the left peg, and vice versa. Let n be the number of greater disks that are located on the same peg as their first greater disk, and at 1 if the largest disk is on left peg. If n is even, the disk is located one peg to the right. If n is odd, the disk located one peg to the left, in case of even number of disks, and vice versa. Otherwise.
So it basically means that if for example, an X no move there equals there. Largest is 0, so it's on the left initial peg. All other disks are 0 as well, so they're stacked on top of it. Hence, all disks are on the initial peg. Move 2 to the 8th power minus 1. By the way, that's 255. Equal 1. The largest disk is 1, so it's on the middle final peg. All other disks are 1 as well, so they're stacked on top of it. Hence, all disks on the final peg and the puzzle is complete. Move 216. The largest disc is 1, so it's on the middle final peg. This 2 is also 1, so it's stuck on top of it, on the middle peg. This 3 is 0, so it's on another peg. Since n is odd, n equals 1. It's 1 peg to the left, i.e. on the left peg. This 4 is 1, so it's on another peg. Since n is odd, it's 1 peg to the left, i.e. on the right peg. 5 is also 1, it's on top of it, on the right peg. This 6 is 0, so it's on another peg. Since n is even, n equals 2. It's 1 peg to the right, i.e. on the left peg. 7 and 8 also 0, they're stuck on the left peg. Since the worst destination pegs for them moves can also be found elegantly from the binary representation of m using bitwise operations. To use the syntax of C programming language, move m is from the peg m and m minus 1 mod 3 to peg m divisible by m minus 1 plus 1 modulo 3, while the discs begin on peg 0 and finish on peg 1 or 2 according to whether the number of discs is even or odd. Another formulation is from peg m minus m and negative m modulo 3 to peg m plus m and negative m modulo 3. Furthermore, the disc can be moved determined by the number of times the move count can be divided by 2, i.e. the number of 0 bits that the right counting the first move as 1 and identifying by the number of 0, 1, 2, etc. The order of increasing size permits the very fast math computer implementation to find the positions of the disk or m moves without reference to any previous move or distribution of disks. Operation which counts the number of consecutive zeros at the end of binary gives a simple solution to the problem. The disk got a number from 0 and that move disk number can't trailing zeros is moved to the minimum possible distance to the right, circling back around to the left as needed. Graphical representation. And the game can be represented by an undirected graph. The nodes representing distributions of disks and the edges representing moves. For one, the graph is a triangle. The graph for two is 3 triangles connected to form the corners of a larger triangle. The second letter is added to represent the larger disk. Clearly, it cannot initially be moved since it's on top of disk 1. On the bottom, topmost small triangle now represents the one move possibilities with 2 disks. Well, how much have we gone through? For 3 disks, the graph is don't know what to call it. Hover packs A, B, and C with disk positioned from left to right in order of increasing size. Wait, is this really size of the outermost triangle? Is the shortest way from moving a towel from one pick to the other one? The edge in the middle of the side, the largest triangle represents a move of the largest disc. The edge in the middle of the side, each next smaller disc. The size of the smallest triangles represent moves of the smallest disc. In general, for a puzzle with n discs, there are 3 to the nth power nodes in the graph. Every node has 3 edges. The other nodes, the 3 corner nodes, have 2. It's always possible to move the smallest disc to one of the 2 other pegs, and it's possible to move one disc between the 2 pegs. Except in the situation where all discs are stacked on one peg. Corner nodes represent the 3 cases where all the discs are stacked on one peg. Diagram for n plus 1 disc 10 by 10 with 3 copies of the index diagram, each one representing all the states and moves of smaller discs. Position of the new largest disc is born and joining them together. So and the corners with 3 new edges, presenting the only single opportunity to move the largest disc. The resultant result has 3 to the n, and it's 1 node and still has 3 corners remaining with only 2 edges. And it has the game graph of level 7. I thought it was the Swarovski triangle. Red, yellow, blue, orange, green, cyan, magenta. The longest non-repetitive way for 3 can be visualized by tracing the unused edges. So, incidentally, this longest non-repetitive path can be obtained by forbidding all moves from A to Z. Hamiltonian cycle for 3 discs is dum 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 dum. Graph clearly shows that from every arbitrary distribution of disks, there is exactly one shortest way to move all disks onto one of the 3 pegs. Between every pair of arbitrary distributions of disks, there are 1 or 2 different shortest paths. From every arbitrary distribution of disks, there is 1 or 2 different longest non-self-crossing paths to move all the disks onto one of the 3 pegs. Between every pair of arbitrary distributions of disks, there is 1 or 2 different longest non-self-crossing paths. The NH number of non-self-crossing paths from moving the tower of n from one peg to another one, then n1 equals 2. nh plus 1 equals nh squared plus nh cubed. This gives nh to be 212, 1,820, 72, 6, 5, 6, 3, 7, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Sequence A125295 in OEIS, the online encyclopedia of integer sequences. Wait, how did they come up with this number? 2827798150171822540369992. Yeah, it's too long. And 2261232380416 22652953029058459645435 3087246911545115 no 52621297513083594583022351552. Awesome. Why does everything look so blocky? Never mind. Let's just go back. Variations. Adjacent pegs. All moves must be between adjacent pegs, i.e. given pegs A, B, C, one cannot move directly between pegs A, C. Then moving a stack of n disks from peg A to peg C takes 3 to the n minus 1 moves. The solution uses all 3 to the n vowel positions, always taking the unique move that does not undo the previous move. The position with all disks that peg B is reached halfway, i.e. after 3 to the n minus 1 divided by 2 moves. Position needed. What does that even mean? Cyclic. No, we are given 3 pegs A, B, C, which are arranged in a circle with the clockwise and counterclockwise directions being defined as A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, and A, C, B, A, respectively. Moving direction of the edges must be clockwise. It suffices to represent the sequence of just moves. This solution can be found using 2 mutually recursive reducers. Move n counterclockwise to the neighboring target pair. Move n minus 1 counterclockwise to the target pair. Move disk n 1 counterclockwise. Move n minus 1 disks clockwise to the start pair. Move disk n 1 step clockwise. N minus 1 disks counterclockwise to the target pair. N disks clockwise to the neighboring target pair. Move n minus 1 disks counterclockwise to the third pair. Move disk number n 1 step clockwise. Move n minus 1 disks counterclockwise to the target pair. The move patterns of transferring a tower of discs from one a peg to another peg are symmetric with respect to the center point. The move patterns transferring tower of discs from one peg to another peg are symmetrical with respect to the center point. Smallest disc is first and last disc to move. Moves as the smallest disc moves alternate with single moves of other discs. The number of disc moves specified by Cn and An are minimal. With 4 pegs and we're done! So the 3-peg version has a simple recursive solution long be known. The optimal solution of Tower of Hanoi problem with 4 pegs called Reeves puzzle was not verified until 2014 by backswitch. And I can create one quickly. Maybe I should call it Reeve. And never mind. Four peg 6 discs. Save. So, optimal solution means go for it. Well, tiny disc. We have to be clear about our target. Target is second peg. For your notice. So, first we move tiny super disc 1. I wonder why it's called a super disc if it's not so tiny. Never mind. Super disc 2 and 3 try to move here. Well, take the move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now neat. 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4. Now that was 12 moves. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Take 17 moves, huh? Papa. 你想吃一下这个吗？你想吃一下这个游戏吗？
录完了。
You notice that you can take advantage that there's a 4th peg now in the game.
I have played it already, right? Oh.
So So originally you had to do it in 31 moves, but now you can do it in only 17. But there's only a few solutions. Correct. 6, 7, 8, 9. Try to move them on. 10, 11, 12. 5 more moves. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now, notice in the solution, you break them up into 3 super discs. Which is why I should change the colors a little bit. Well, we made it orange. I do not like orange. Now part of super disc green. Maybe I should give a different name to it. Now actually shows sense that it's actually reddish. Of super disc green, obviously. So, well, now it's more clear what the super discs are. Super disc 1, super disc 2, super disc 3. Anyways, how do you win? This is well, the extra spare peg. So first, I'm going to play as in the Tower of Hanoi, pretending the fourth peg doesn't exist because it can't exist, or else the method is not going to work. Then I'll move Super Disc 2 like it's single disc. Well, playing just the same game, Tower of Hanoi, well, but with Super Discs because have no fear, the fourth disc is here. Obviously, we accomplish our mission. But we can't just move 3 discs, boom, like that. Aha! But here comes the magic. Bum, bum, bum! So first, move this disc. Then, via the double spare disc, we move Super Disc number 2 to the spare peg. Then, we don't really need this, but via the spare peg, we move Super Disc 1 onto the spare peg. Then, via the spare peg, we move Super Disc number 3 to the target peg. Then, via the spare peg, we move Super Disc number 1 to the source peg. Then, via the spare peg, we move Super Disc number 2 to the target peg. Then, via the spare peg, we move Super Disc number 3. Then via the spare peg, we move Super Disc number 1 to the target peg. Pretty straightforward, huh? Pretty straightforward. Yes, it is pretty straightforward. The optimal solution was not verified until 2014, but I guess the optimal solution for triangular numbers like 1, 3, 6. 1's basically simple. 2, well, you don't even actually need the fourth peg. 3, well, just drop off pegs 1 and 2 as you go. Move peg 3 and then put on the drop pegs 2 and 1 back on. However, in case of 4 or more, it's the frame Stewart algorithm is known without proof of optimality since 1941. For the formal derivation for the exact number of minimal moves required to solve the problem by applying the frame Stewart algorithm and other equivalent methods, see the following paper. For other variants of the 4-peg Tower of Hanoi problem, see Paul Stockmeyer's survey paper. By the way, we should make that was, well, level 2. Actually, it was easier than level 1. Never mind, I'll call it level 2. Here's level 6. Hup, here come the colors. turning into mark the spot where treasure lies. This game is a little too first winner shall claim the prize. X marks the spot where treasure lies. So what are you waiting for? Let's get going. Hope that it was worth the silent dance. Fine, it's always worth it to be calm. Think can look up. That's what I'm waiting for. Why is 7 is also Now showing Super Disc number Cyan? No, call it Super Disc number 4. Well, now that's better. how do you play this game? I mean, right now it's easy. Let's move into the last peg. But what's the optimal strategy? I'd say you're about to find out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Notice. Optimal strategy. 18 for 3 picks. 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 4, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Phew. And there's still 17 more moves to go. I don't know what to think about it. Actually, that's not the right move. This is the correct move. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 2, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49, as promised. Completion in 49 moves. Frame skewer algorithm. Number 466 over 885. Oh, formula. Well, I need to take out my pen. Because this part, well, because of the 1 over 3, when it's raised to higher and higher powers will eventually become 0. And 5 plus root 17 over 8 also goes to 0. 5 minus 17 over 18, well, more certainly goes to 0. So the only ones left are 2 to the n and 466 over 885. But 2 to the n is at minus 1 over 3. It doesn't really matter so much when it gets so large. And to n, well, that's just for a scalar. So we're left with this number. In the magnetic Tower of Hanoi, the tower will, they start opposite peg and you want them to get another one on the other side. Do it again. But each move must have a half turn and they must not repel. Then to flip, oh. By color. Yeah, little hard. I know, get it. Well, yeah, that's it. That's what Papa. See you next time.
Bye. See you next time.
Well, now you know who the mystery special guest, whatever you call it, is.